Okay, welcome to Web Accessibility for Content Providers. My name is Todd McGill. I'm with Strategic Communications. If you have any questions on this material, you can email me at tmcgill@uci.edu, or you can give me a ring at 824-7919. This presentation is adapted from another presentation titled A Principles-Based Approach to Web Accessibility that was given by Jared Smith and Jonathan Whiting of WebAIM. This is part 5, and here I will be going over tables. In the past, tables were often used for layout purposes. That is considered bad practice now. Much like the stylization of text, page layout should be defined elsewhere, such as in a linked style sheet. Only use tables for tabular data. This will allow your content to more easily adapt to different viewing devices. Secondly, the way a table is organized affects the way the data it contains is understood. Thirdly, all tables should have a summary. You can hand code the summary by including the summary attribute in the table tag. If you use the CMS, click over to the Advanced tab and provide the summary in the indicated field. Be sure to include table headers to identify the type of data contained in the table. Hand coders can use the TH tag to define which cells are headers. In the CMS, table headers are defined in the Table Cell Properties window. You also need to indicate what data the headers are associated with by indicating header scope. When hand coding, you can add the scope attribute to the TH tag to indicate either col or row. In the CMS, you select either column or row in the scope field of the Table Cell Properties window. Alright, this is a hands-on demo for working with tables. We'll start with hand coding. And on screen we have a bare bones table ready to go. What we want to do is make this table accessible. First step in doing that is to provide a table summary. And to provide a summary, we attach a summary attribute to the table tag. Now in this example, this table contains course information, so that can be our summary. Second thing we need to do is identify which table cells are headers. In this example, the entire first row contains headers, so we'll change these TD tags to TH tags. Additionally, the cells in the leftmost column also contain headers, so gotta switch those over too. Okay, next we need to identify which cells each of these headers is associated with. So to do that, we attach the scope attribute to each header. So for this header, the header is associated with the cells below it, so the scope needs to be col for column. This is true for this header as well, and this one. For this header, it is associated with the cells across, so scope would be row in this case. And likewise there. So now let's take a look at our table. And there we go. Alright, let's do the same example, this time using the WYSIWYG. So here's our bare bones table again. First we need to provide the table summary. So click inside the table, right click, table properties here. Go over to the Advanced tab, and we can provide our summary right here. Like so. Second thing we need to do is identify the table headers. So I'll click inside the appropriate cell, right click, cell, table cell properties. Cell type, change that from data to header. And while we're in this dialog, let's just change the scope as well. So scope for this one is column. and update. Do that for all these. This one's going to be scope of row. This one is also going to be scope of row. And there we are. So that concludes this presentation. Feel free to contact me with any questions, and for lots more info on accessibility, head over to webaim.org.